Guys, this morning we jump straight ahead to our conversation. And as I told you this morning, I have a full house. This morning I'm chatting with Mr. Dedan Daniel, who is the chairman of the board of directors for the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program, as well as the general manager, Ms. Kelly Mannette, and the program manager, Mr. Sean McCoon. Good morning, guys, and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, Shenell.
So it's a pleasure to have you here this morning, and there's a lot that's happening with the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program. This morning, we want to start by touching on the hike that's happening. We know that, a lot of persons are interested in the outdoor activities right now, and tell us a bit about how persons can get involved in that, and what's the time and the date for the activity.
Okay, so this hike and plant will be the third installment that the Tobago Reforestation for short has hosted in here in Tobago. This year we're going to be doing it in Lekoto at the riparian site that is currently being co-managed with the Environmental Management Authority. Now, so one of the things that we are quite proud of at TRWRP is being able to link recreation with reforestation. And on the 28th of September, we're going to be having a deluge of persons, hundreds of persons who will be coming onto the site to plant at least 800 trees. Right, so on the 28th of September, started from about 7 in the morning to maybe about noon, we're going to be on the site and we're going to be putting down at least 800 seedlings. The benefit of which will be for environmental sustainability, providing a habitat, managing the watershed, and all the lovely stuff that goes with environmental protection. So reforestation, recreation, we're going to be having a good time. You could go on our Facebook page as well as our website, and you'll see the registration link so that you could participate in the event as well.
Excellent. And tell us, is it that you have identified that this particular area needs new plants? Tell us why this planting initiative is happening in this particular area.
Well, so we have a methodology for choosing the sites, right? Is that our mandate speaks to doing work to renew the areas, right? And in this particular site is a riparian site that is co-managed with the Environmental Management Authority. So as a collective, as a corporate, these two entities, we collaborated. We chose that site because of the need for the replanting efforts, because of the denuding nature of the site, as well as to protect the watershed surrounding. Which has a lot of impact for us, particularly on the southwest part of the island, because most of our water supplies and so on is curated at that side of the island, and it filters down here. So it's a way of ensuring our livelihood, make sure that water remains in the taps, and we have a good life.
Right, and Mr. McCoon, tell us about how this event has been supported in the past and what type of turnout you're expecting this time around.
Right, so as Mr. Daniel indicated, this is our third installment of the Hike and Plant. We have had the Hike and Plant group come from Trinidad and partner with us at Tobago Reforestation. We had a wonderful turnout last year at the Corland Watershed site, and we also have another project ongoing as a partnership with EMA at that Corland site. This year we have chosen, as indicated, our Lekoto site. In terms of numbers, we expect a little bit of a larger turnout this year once all things work together with flights and boat opportunities, boat transport and all of that. We will get the numbers. We've had Caribbean Airlines come on board as our co-sponsor. We've also had KFC, who has indicated again their interest in coming on board, and we certainly want to look at roughly about 200 people. Yeah, thereabouts. About 200 people this year is the target that we're trying to hit, and we certainly have in our sights the growth and development of such initiatives, not just as a one-off or once per year sort of occurrence, but we also want to look at having it you know, at intervals throughout the course of the year, given the fact that part of our mandate is to identify some of the areas that can use some rehabilitation, and we make fun recreational programs and initiatives and events in order to get communities involved in that regard.
Right, and tell us a bit about how many persons are being expected to participate. Do you have a quota? Is it only 500 persons, only 200 persons? How many persons can participate, and are they expected to register before the event?
Yes, so certainly you are expected to, participants are expected to register before the event. Our target this year is 200 people. Reason being is the site management, of course. We want to ensure that we have a nice number to work with that fills the space. We have all the hands that we need, because 200 by 2 is 400 hands, right? In, most cases. So we want to ensure that we have around 200 people. The registration is ongoing. The numbers have been going steadily, and we expect a decent turnout, and 200 is our target for this year.
Right, and Ms. Kelly, this is a free event. Persons do not have to pay to participate. Why is it important for persons to come out and really be a part of this?
So it is a free event, and it is very important to encourage the environmental stewardship within our local country, well, Tobago as well as Trinidad. And we are also welcoming any visitors as well to the island. So it is in a bid to encourage a change in behavior, environmental awareness, and also awareness of our impact on the environment, whether both positive and negative. So through this Hike and Plant event, we hope to allow persons to understand that we can have fun and save the environment at the same time.
Excellent, I like that. And persons often complain that there isn't much to do in Tobago. But there are things that are happening. It's just a matter of, knowing what's happening and being a part of that. Even as the Tobago reforestation, does these type of events, is it that you are looking forward to continuing to grow the size of the event? Because I heard from Sean that you want to keep the numbers limited in a way that you can manage it. But, what type of growth are you looking for these type of events?
Well, growth not just in numbers, but growth in the awareness of the need for planting trees generally. Earlier in the we launched a campaign that speaks to More Trees Please. So whereas we may have a planned event where we actually putting down trees, we want community groups and so on, environmental groups, to have that kind of mindedness so that they will plant trees in their backyards, in their communities and so on, to reap the benefits of tree planting. And it's a nice recreational thing to go out, especially barefoot on the ground, feel the ambience of the environment, and all these things. Is a wonderful, wholesome type of activity that we would like to encourage people to do generally.
Excellent.
So just numbers, but also in awareness and intensity.
All right. I look forward to being a part of that particular event. But I heard that you guys are doing some work over at Little Tobago. Ms. Kelly, can you tell us a bit about what's happening there?
All right. Well, in terms of our green spaces management and our mandate to develop our green spaces, we have started consultations with some of the key stakeholders at the Little Tobago site and in Speyside and in northeast end of Tobago. And this is in a bid for us to start implementing the user fee and a user policy at Little Tobago. So we have consulted some of the stakeholders, including boat tour operators, hoteliers, and again, this is ongoing. In terms of our last consultation, we had a lot of feedback, and positive feedback, I should say, and also some feedback which would give us food for thought in terms of how we plan going forward with the implementation of that user fee for Little Tobago.
Right. Sean, tell us a bit about why we have to move towards these user fees. When you travel throughout the region or even internationally, you go to any site that is a tourist attraction. you have to pay a small fee that helps to contribute towards the maintenance of such a site. But you know, here in Tobago, I believe that persons are ready for this type of move. You know, we are now at a place where we understand that in order to maintain what we have and to enhance what we have, there must be a price connected. But what about the locals who say, well, we always go there and, you know, it's a part of what we do. We go over there to fish or whatever the case may be. Tell us about how do we manage that move towards development and also keeping the locals engaged.
So one of the things we found to be quite interesting at the consultation that was held recently with the stakeholders up at Speyside, and of course by extension the northeast of the island between, as Ms. Mannette said, the tour guides, tour operators, the boat operators, etc., is that they are actually open to the user fee and policy development. They are open to it. What we did identify, however, is that we may have one particular rate for locals once you are landing or getting off on the island to do activities, and another rate for foreigners, which we would also encourage intake of Forex. So they can actually now pay in the foreign currency, pay in US dollars, pay in euros, pay in Great Britain pounds, or EC dollars as the case may be. So the encouragement is that we want to have an intake of Forex, which is an income earner, not just for Little Tobago and not just for reforestation, but for the island. And reforestation is basically using this initiative to roll out a structured plan that not only speaks to the development of a green space, but to an ecotourism product. So we are doing our part to develop new spaces and new products, which, as you said, when you go to other islands, you go to other jurisdictions, there are fees involved, there are policies, there are park management structures, and we are moving swiftly to implement that, for the greater benefit. Of course, with the considerations being given to our local fisher folk, to some of the other people that ply their trade within the area. And dare I say that they are also excited about the prospects of the development and the benefits that it will bring in raising the bar of our island and by extension Little Tobago's service.
Excellent. Mr. Daniel, talk to us, because when you hear a user fee being applied, we think about the fact that the space is going to continue to develop over time. Tell us about some of the developments that are being planned for that particular space.
Okay, so we would have at reforestation would have expended resources and helping to enhance the site, to enhance the visitor experience with the toilet facilities, with the bird watching platform. We would have spent considerable resources to build it up, and other aspects of the whole experience we were hoping to upgrade over time. That is why the user fee is important, right? And to put it crassly, freeness had to done at some point in time, right? So, as Mr. McCoon would have mentioned, the stakeholders have had a positive feedback as it relates to the fee. They are not opposed to the fees and that kind of stuff. And it's kind of like a continuation of one of the things that we want to pioneer and to establish here in Tobago, that our sites, we need to maintain them, and the users have to contribute towards it, thus the fees, right? So since 1999, that site has been declared a protected area and protected for a particular reason. And so we have to manage the access to it. The user fee will do that to some extent, and also to help to maintain it. We don't want to have a situation where you're having that place down so, right? Whether it's called no man's land or something like that.
Yes.
Right. So we want to make sure that the experience is it's valuable, it is meaningful, it is worthwhile, it is environmentally sensitive, and people who would go for recreation, for research, for different purposes are able to enjoy the island. One of the most beautiful islets, technically speaking, on the space that is Tobago, and so that people can enjoy it. And the fee is competitive, it's affordable, And I think we'll have a good experience. People will be able to use the facility and have an enhanced experience as time goes on.
Excellent. Well, we're going to continue this conversation, but first we're going to take a quick break right here and we'll be back after this. See you soon.
Sweet.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new